Hey, my friends. I want to talk about benzo diet. What is the best benzo diet? What should you be eating? What should you not be eating? Should you take supplements? This is kind of a divisive and controversial topic in the benzo community. You have those that say, "Hey, eat whatever you want. You'll be fine. So don't be so paranoid or anxious over it." In fact, the anxiety over what you're eating probably is going to be a bigger factor than the actual food itself, right? Same with supplements. Other people will say, no, that's simply not true. You need a low histamine diet. You need a low or anti-inflammatory diet. You need to be eating green, vegan. You need to be on a keto diet. Someone else will say, no, you got to be on a carnivore diet. So what I've discovered being a benzo coach is that it really comes down to the individual. At the end of the day, it's about the individual. What is your body going to tolerate, for one? What can you, as a person working a diet, what can you actually stick to? Because the best diet is going to be the one that works for you, the one that you can commit to. Same with exercise. What's the best exercise program? The one you can follow through. That's the one, right? So in my experience, I personally like a Mediterranean diet. I just think it's if you ask me a general sense of what's a good diet, I say it's, Mediterranean, pretty safe, pretty easy to follow, lots of studies. I think it's kind of held as maybe the number one diet, according to science and nutrition. On the other hand, I got to tell you, I've had a lot of clients that did go vegan and eat green, and they did really well on it. Really well. And there's no denying that diets like veganism is associated with much lower rates of cancer and all kinds of diseases. I mean, it's very clear that if you want to live longer and be healthier, a vegan diet is a damn good choice. And for a long time, the antithesis of a vegan diet, of course, was the carnivore diet, which for a long time this was even on our radar. We couldn't even entertain that you could just live on meat. I mean, in fact, we were taught a lot of other things that that you couldn't live on meat. And not only that, the levels of sodium and fat and parasites, like you were going to increase your cancer rates and your hypertension, potentially create hypertension or heart problems if you ate meat. That's what we've been taught, and told for, God, I don't know, 50 years that I know of. And now with this kind of reemergence of the carnivore diet and a lot of science coming up behind it, we're going, wait, well, this is not entirely true. In fact, it's the results are amazing. I can tell you personally, I've had multiple clients that got on a carnivore diet, for example, and immediately dropped, 30 to 50 to 70 to 80 pounds. Literally had a client dropped 80 pounds within a year of getting on the carnivore diet. And I've had many clients that got on the carnivore diet and came off their blood pressure meds, came off their statin, came off their insulin. And I heard incredible things, and it really made me, dive deeper into the research. And sure enough, the deeper I dove, the more of this that I was finding. In fact, if you go on a carnivore diet YouTube, video and look into the comments and just read what, actual testimonials from people that are, following this diet, what they're saying. And you'll see the same stuff coming off blood pressure meds, all of this. And it's like, wait a minute, this is not what we were taught. I thought it was going to jack up blood pressure. I thought, no. Right. So again, is it for everybody? Probably not. And is it even sustainable? Could you follow through with only eating meat every day? Probably many of us, probably not. Same can be said about going vegan, right? I've had many clients that say, look, I even if it was healthier for me, I can't do it. Then it's not your diet, right? You got to find something that works for you. Pescatarian, only eating fish and vegetables and things like that. You got to find what works for you. And above all else, no matter what diet you follow, the basics are king, meaning eliminate sugar. That's one commonality across the boards of diets. Decrease or eliminate sugar. Sugar is cancer causing. It's nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. Avoid too many sweets. the processed food, the McDonald's and all of that stuff. Maybe reduce your gluten levels, right? That's a very healthy piece of advice as well, as gluten is known to cause a lot of inflammation in the body, has sugar, avoid pastas, gluten, breads, all that kind of stuff. Caffeine. Don't take too much more caffeine. I mean, really on benzos, you would be doing yourself a service if you eliminated the caffeine. Yes, I know that is dreadful. I love my coffee, but you can get, half calf or caffeine free, or you can switch to something else, So outside of those things, it's really about you. Now, I would add also, of course, the obvious one is avoid alcohol, right? I think that goes without saying. Dr. Ashton said you could have an occasional glass of wine. I think that's rational. I support that. But for a lot of us, we probably are going to find that too stimulating, or it would increase some benzo symptoms the next few days. So, but it ain't unheard of, right? It ain't unheard of. In terms of supplements, less is more. I say get your supplements through your food, through your food. If you need vitamin D, get it through the sunlight. If you want to increase magnesium levels and dip your toe in that water, find it in the foods. If you want to increase neural regeneration and neuroplasticity through the use of vitamin Bs like B6 or B12, again, get it through your food. Drink lots of water. I mean, lots of water. Flush your system. Be careful not to drink too much water and be obsessive about it, and don't drop your sodium levels too low, because the water will flush out your system, and that can cause problems. So, be intelligent, be smart. And again, the best diet is the one that you can stick to, the one that your body responds best to. And then outside of that, use some good common sense. Hey everyone, I'm Coach Powers, and I'm excited to announce the launch of my new online Benzo Recovery School. The school launched with Module 1 and will have a total of 4 modules, each module with a dozen or more video lessons. Here are some contents in Module 1. This creates the basis for my recovery program. If you know anything about my approach to benzo recovery, you know I'm a bit different than other benzo coaches in that I do not subscribe to the lay and pray model of recovery. Instead, I believe benzo injury is a kind of neurological injury that requires neurological rehabilitation. This neurological rehabilitation encompasses learning how to access our good chemistry while also reducing the so-called bad chemistry, cortisol and adrenaline, and also learning how to lull down our hypervigilant limbic system. This includes learning techniques in CBT, DBT, mindfulness therapy, and neuroplasticity building. Now, I've studied clinical psychology for the last 15 years of my life, and my benzo recovery program encompasses the same things that I use to make my own recovery after a 10-year, 40 milligram Valium dependence. My recovery program observes 4 stages of recovery with 3 tiers of development. In fact, my stages are all focused on development. This makes them different than the 3 obvious stages of recovery, which include the pre-taper, the taper, and post-taper. Instead, my stages serve as a kind of developmental roadmap, with each stage serving as a bridge to the following stage. These 4 stages include Stage 1, restoring hope, Stage 2, the new beginning, Stage 3, the montage, and Stage 4, coming home. Perhaps most importantly, each stage has 3 key learning goals and also 3 key roadblocks. These stages revealed themselves to me after years of working with literally thousands of people from all around the world. After enough experience, you begin to see patterns and trends, and you see where people triumph and what roadblocks can prevent them from moving forward. Now remember, just because you may have come off your benzo doesn't mean you automatically reach Stage 4, the final stage. Again, these are developmental stages, which is why someone can come off of their benzo and still be stuck in their recovery. In fact, it's entirely possible to come off of your benzo and be stuck in Stage 1. Here are some other features the online Benzo Recovery School offers. Aside from being a school, it's also a positive focused support group. And believe me when I tell you, my students are a different breed of benzo warriors. They are wise, they are driven, and they understand the mission. I, Coach Powers, will also be doing live video Q&A weekly in the community, talking, teaching, and answering questions from all of you. There will be downloadable resources such as a rumination and exposure therapy log, templates for checklists, and much more. Additionally, there will be new benzo sleep affirmation videos exclusive for the school, as well as new and early original content. There will be a regular benzo blog, benzo-related news, and even a private early screening for my Benzo Recovery feature film, Lake of Fire. All of this and only for a special introductory rate of $30 monthly while time lasts. So come join the positive community and let's work together on facilitating our recovery. See you there.